the Legends of Fabled Realms Beta Weekend here on beasts4.com. This weekend we have an epic kit bashing competition, with one lucky winner taking away an exclusive Druggoi miniature, an exclusive Stoic miniature, a warband of your choice, and you will also get to work with the team at 4Ground to create a new character to go into the Legends of Fabled Realms. Plus, we have 4 £500 gift vouchers for 4Ground terrain products to be won this weekend by getting your comments in on the live blogs.
Hello everybody and welcome to the 4Ground Beta Weekend for the Legends of Fabled Realms. I have sat down with Cad and Ben from 4Ground, pair of the masterminds behind this game. And
two of them, we're not the only ones.
Oh,
yeah.
I know. This is why I said a pair of.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so today we're talking about my favourite faction,
the
Druggoi covens.
Yep.
So, we have players out in the hobby hall at the moment getting their games in, learning how this faction works, but I wanted to get you guys sat down to actually get your thoughts on how they're going to play. So, Cad, I know we are playing Legacy this weekend.
Yep.
So, the first thing I want to know is, how would you run these guys in your first ever Legacy game, the first of a campaign?
So the first of a campaign, you can go for one or two ways, but the way I'd go is I'd go not necessarily for the win, I'd go for converting as many of their models as possible.
Oh, you're going murder?
Yeah, well, if you convert their henchmen, the next game you go into, your opponent's going to be surprised that you've got all these extra bodies on the table.
If you look at the miniatures, you will find that they're actually a mixture of races, all with the curse. You cannot have a horde army fight Druggoi. All that will happen is you'll make a horde of Druggoi.
Oh.
Or Druggul, rather. So Cad, go on.
Yeah, but the other way to play it, and if you were playing competitively in a one-off game, and you're playing with the characters as they are, you want to send Alia straight as fast as possible. She should be going for their best hero.
Okay.
Because she's got special rules like High Impact 2. She reduces their defense dice. Right. So any heavy armor they're wearing, she doesn't care about it.
I see.
And she's Vargan as well.
Yeah, what I was going to say about Alia is, of course, is that she is a Druggoi, so she actually is a sentient person, as intelligent as she was before she caught the virus, the curse.
Virus curse.
Whatever you want to call it. They call it a curse. The other guys, so if they're Druggoi henchmen, they're known as Druggul.
Yes. Do they drool?
And
some of them do. Only when a tasty person walks past.
So Druggul actually means tainted blood in Dwarvish, and Druggoi comes from the tainter of blood. But that's just in our fluff that's been going for like 15 odd years. People will get into that as the time goes by, but
this is the thing I keep saying. I love how deep the story is, how big of a world you guys have.
Well, Andy's had to start codifying, full-time codifying at work now. So,
really?
You know, Andy does all this great sort of, he's done the Jessere industrial stuff just lately. He did the Stalingrad, and he worked with me on the Daldor and the Broggenbridge stuff.
Yes.
Well, although he's one of our designers, he's also been a key member of this since its very early days. And so now it's with great sadness, Andy has been codifying all of the lore and all of the rules that were alpha rules. And so, he's having a great time. Yeah. Sorry, Cad, go on.
So, normally you want your Druggoi, your heroes, to go, and your leader to go after their henchmen, because of the amount of dice you're rolling as attacks and the quality of your dice.
I see. Okay, now you've got some of the miniatures that people will have seen before here, and also some that people won't really have seen much of before.
They might have seen some of the 3D sculpts, but not actually real.
The actual real things. Because I believe you were telling me earlier, these are the quality you guys are planning to do for final production for everybody?
Yeah, everything you see here. So, in fact, everything on the table you see here is the kind of quality that we're going to be producing. We're producing it in-house. We have decided to go down the route of actually 3D printing our own production models. And so
that's a first for me. I don't think I've seen any other company really do that yet.
We don't think we have either.
We're fortunate because SLA is laser curing, and it's lasers, if that makes sense. So we've been able to actually bring a lot.
That's fine. I like some lasers.
I
like lasers.
Are
they shark mounted?
No. I think yours are mechanical arm mounted. I think shark mounted might be difficult for miniature production. Might be a little bit of a consistency.
We're doing, because we always try to be at the forefront of what we do. We already did quite well looking at how to use lasers for cutting out 2D components of 3D kits, and we've also been working on curing formulas and curing times to be able to make a 3D cured resin that is not super brittle, and that involves curing formulas and that kind of thing.
So I assume, did you guys get like white lab coats, mad scientists, lightning
We're
in the
very
background?
fortunate because we work with chemists. The chemists we work with the paints originally were the ones we got involved with. So the paints that have our high pigment that we can laser cut are the same guys that have been working on the inhibitors and additives and that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
But it's not in the resin, it's in the curing of it.
Ah, I see. Okay, well, we've got some beautiful miniatures. I've also got some stuff to show on screen. So let's quickly cycle through.
Yeah.
For anyone who does not know what's going on, if you have found this video by accident, welcome. Hello, I'm Justin.
Hi guys.
This is Cad, this is Ben. We may have already said that at the start of the video, but I'm saying it again. This is a video for The Legends of Fabled Realms, which is the game that the guys at 4Ground, who you may know for terrain, are bringing to the tabletop. And we're talking about Druggoi, which is, ta-da! This is, I believe, the shield.
Yeah.
So that is the symbol of ancient Dalandor. It's not actually the symbol of the Druggoi now, but
It means
the symbol of Druggoi.
But people think it is now because it's 500 years later. Dorians the only Dorians left, if you like, are all either wandering around as Dragoons, having no idea who they were, or actually as the Druggoi. So therefore you see the Druggoi are in this fantastic Dorian armour. I don't know if you want to have a look there.
Yeah.
So
this is Alia.
So this, and in the game, this is one armour that can't be made. So
this is gorgeous. Now, this is one of your older upscaled miniatures?
Yes. So that's when we first brought these out, and when we were first designing these, our problem was we thought the only way we could get the detail that we wanted was actually with PVC. And it's the way that PVC actually comes out. When it comes out, that it's a bit softer and it hardens to a degree that meant we could do it with PVC.
Yes.
But so these were slightly bigger because they had to be slightly bigger because PVC, when it comes out of these things, one of the things it does is it hardens, it literally shrinks. It literally does, yes. But then we had a situation because everybody, if I can just show you with the glutton here.
Yeah.
So everybody liked that size of glutton or like that size of miniature.
Yeah. Oh, he's a big boy.
And yet, but that is actually the size for in game. So although, so they're not really a gaming size; they're more of a painting size. And I know you've done that one in house. So
Roman took one look at it and went, "I must paint it."
Yeah, but only someone like Roman can make an actual gaming piece look like it's a painting sculpture.
I don't know. This is the thing. Roman always says, "Oh, it's only tabletop."
Yeah.
I look at it and go, "Roman, your tabletop is better than mine will ever be."
Yeah, that's
but I mean,
right.
like the miniature itself is so.
And you'll see the quality actually in the production model of that, where you can see definitely at looking at the sculpt is exactly the same as the pre-production. So we're 3D printing for our production product in house.
See, it's
got to that stage now. You have to be aware of the technology. Sorry, Cad's actually been the guy heading this all up, so I'll shut up.
Yeah, well, the beautiful thing for me is you've captured the horror of them, because if you look at the artwork, you see the horror of these monstrous, gnawing, hungry creatures.
Yeah,
and it comes through so beautifully.
That is a card that's perfect for. We were talking about Alia earlier.
Yeah.
This is Hateful Blows. So Hateful Blows is you take a number of hits. So when you've lost some of your hit points, you play the card in the combat and you get additional combat dice based on the amount of wounds you've taken.
I see.
So Alia, she wants to get hurt.
Okay.
It's a very confusing thing because you need to play her on that knife edge of death and life. And your opponent, if they get her down to only one wound and you've got that card in your hand, you gain 16 attack dice.
Okay, so it's Bad Day Biscuits.
Yeah.
She's still, that gets a thrill from being the pain. It's sort of
driving her onward.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this is just so cool to actually see the translation, and I'm really excited to see how our gamers play this weekend.
Very much,
Because this is one thing that I really want to make key during these videos is this game is still in beta. It is still mutable. It is still changeable. You're still listening to what everybody has to say.
Definitely.
So I'm curious to see what comes out of it.
The other thing I want to say that the guys have access to at the beta weekend, which won't be the case because they don't come out straight away, is obviously the guys at the beta weekend have access to the Druggoi Stalkers. So these Stalkers are different from normal Druggoi in so much as they have animal cunning. And these are the ones that look to be in full flight and on pieces of terrain when you actually look at the... So if you look at these, but remember, these are the big scale, the painting scale, not the gaming scale, yeah? But you can see from those that actually they are clearly... they're both their feet are planted on the ground. This is for game purposes, planted on the ground, and there is no terrain that they're actually interacting with. And so that's in the game. That's why if it's a kind of WYSIWYG, but we like stalkers to be actually interacting with terrain, so the other person can clearly see, oh, that's a stalker. So stalkers will always be on a bit of terrain, and they are Druggoi, which means that when we were saying about how that you will take the enemy's miniatures, and if they die, they can turn straight away. And in the legacy game, they could also maybe turn at some point or whatever.
Oh, so they could get like a lingering effect?
Yeah, so it can take up to 14 days. The longer it takes, the more likely there'll be a Druggoi than a Druggoi.
I see.
But the thing to remember is that you might take one of the enemy, you might turn them, and they might actually find that what they turn into is a stalker. That is something with animal cunning. So if that makes sense, so you've made her like a wolf rather than a hunter, a man, a person.
So it kind of feels like that half step between Druggoi and Druggoi.
Yeah, but they don't transmute from one to the other. That is what they actually become. So they have that much intelligence left, if that makes their animal cunning.
Yeah, I can look at that guy in armor and go, well, there's the soft bit.
Whereas these guys have pack mentality. They follow the leader. They're never going to be alphas. You can have in the legacy fluff later on, probably not going to be for a couple of years, you can actually have like a feral, not a coven so much, but a Druggoi pack, and that will be led by stalkers, but we're not going anywhere near that for 2 or 3 years because we don't want to cloud the issue with how the game works. Sorry, so that was,
when you play the game, the stalkers work very differently because they're faster. So normal Druggoi moves... the way the game works is you have actions. You'll have many of them in a turn. So a Druggoi moves at 6 inches per action. A Stalker moves 8.
Right.
And it also has special rules where it can move through terrain without any ill effect.
It's like a carport. Is it? No, what's it? Carport?
Parkour.
I nearly had it right. I almost fell off. I fell off.
Yeah.
So yeah, they can do that. They literally the terrain is of no real consequence to them.
Which can also mean defending a city watchtower against them is a bit hard because they can also go up. As well as
easily.
I think I've just noticed a design flaw in your guard tower.
Yeah.
That toilet.
Yep.
You sit down on the jacksie. Next thing you know, what's munching on my ass?
Exactly. It could be
worse than your ass.
Yeah, I was being polite.
Another thing is talking about the different races and different creatures that have caught the curse. Is that, as you know, we were saying we're going to go back now to just talking about game scale. So as you know, there the beautifully painted glutton was before that he was an ogre, as you would consider it. So his features were ogre-like, and ogres are Trogkin. And there is also another member of the greater Trogkin race here, and that is that there is like a Yeti, an abominable snowman kind of. Okay. As far as we're concerned, they are in game sense, they are hairy ogres. But this guy has also got it, and so this guy is now a terror.
Yeah, look at this beast.
So the reason he hasn't got any hands on him.
Do you want some blue tack, Justin? And he comes with 2 options of heads.
Yeah, okay.
Because you may want to fill 2 or 3 of them. So you've got the 2 head options. One is open, isn't it?
Yep, one's a mouth open.
Yeah.
The other one is
just a little
mouth
bit
closed.
smiley.
So the thing is with these guys, the hairy guys in the game, is they have horns. The other soft-skinned Trogkin don't tend to not. So the ogres tend to not have horns.
Right.
The ones with a bit of hair will also get horny growths as well.
Gotcha.
So then you've got the 2 choices of hands.
For each arm.
Oh, I see.
And this is how they come. Obviously, we're not expecting you to blue tack them every time. So, yeah.
If I pop that in there, and let's just say he's having a good day.
Yeah.
And I'll pop the other one in.
But it's also the way he fights as well. The way he attacks people is he picks them up and crushes them and drops them and goes for the next one.
All right.
And he'll then eat
he
later.
was attacking people with people.
No.
Well, yeah, he probably could, but that's actually what he's killing. He's neutralizing them as he goes.
That looks so terrifying. Look at that. He's just picked up 2 pursuits.
Yeah.
And we've got a little 8-fold path warden, so you can show the difference in size.
Yeah, so this is your game skill for your average human.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this is the big guy. Oh my God.
But he's pretty much the same size as actual Trogkin that are those, and he's pretty much the same size as the ogre that are Trogkin. So that you'll see if you were coming across the animals or the creatures
Yeah.
before they turn, that's what they'd look like.
I see. So
Regardless
it is
of race.
the same changes.
So there you've got a dwarf with it here. So that'll give you an
He's
idea.
the wrong size.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that he is an idea of, yes,
Yeah.
these are all the painting scale, painter's scale. So that's that. And then there's another human there. There's actually a paymaster who has just turned recently.
Yeah. Aye, his clothes are still in reach.
And he's also still got a lot of body fat on him. What happens is they have this illness that they have means that they're like crack cocaine addicts, but they are
really
they're agoraphobic. So they're agoraphobic. They are afraid of water.
Right.
So the only way that they get fluids in is blood.
okay.
And they are also very covetous of blood, aren't they? They want blood a lot. And also the other thing is that they have very fast-moving metabolisms, which means that if they have to consume flesh all the time. And there is one other type in this in the Druggoi that we haven't gone to, and that's one that sort of put itself in stasis when it can't get food. And that's that kind. It moves very, very slowly. It doesn't really do very much. But as soon as it does feed, you then find out whether it's what kind of Druggoi or Dragul it is.
Because it could be a Druggoi.
But that plays very much into when the Druggoi, sorry, Cad, in the campaign games, different people have different ways of harvesting resources out of game, don't they?
Yes.
If you could go through how they go hunting rather than gaining money.
I
Yeah,
think
so-
this is something we've looked at a little bit before in video. haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a Druggoi coven goes on a hunt,
Mhm.
and it will find a thing. So it'll find maybe some farmers in the field,
Yeah.
or it will find a whole village of people, and that will kind of dictate what you get back. Because if there were 100 people living in a village, you might get some extra Druggoi, but you also might. There's enough people there that you might get a Druggoi, or you might get a glutton even because there was an ogre in the village. Because the ogres live in human communities. Some of them, other ones don't as much. They live in the south. They're a bit nasty. So you get different things. Whereas the other factions might trade in, especially the Sellsword Guild will trade in gold. The Mordenberg State Guard trade in influence. So the Druggoi, they just generate extra people from what they infect.
So basically, at the end of a battle, if I've murdered some henchmen,
Yep.
I have to check and see if they turn. And then
Well,
in
they may
between campaign...
Oh, no.
They may have turned instantly in the
during
game.
Oh, sorry.
But some of those that actually turn out to be dead as far as that faction is concerned, you could roll for that. It depends on what kind of scenario you want to play. But what Cad's talking about is the hunting.
Yeah,
So
This
you-
is
yeah.
between battles?
No. Between battles,
Yeah.
you can generate extra people
Okay.
that are not part of the battle itself. So it's Carusi or your leader has taken people around and gone, that we need to get some food in. Let's get takeaway. There's a village over there.
Whereas the Mordenberg Guard...
Okay, so it's Peasant Hut.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not Pizza Hut, yeah. So the Mordenberg State Guard, for instance, they get renowned, so they will be given more troops under their control. Eightfold Path tends to get lots of the dross of society.
Yeah, so they get the tithe, which is
I
like
see.
because they're
people,
the
weapons.
militant order of the Eightfold
Yeah,
Path.
I see.
And
So-
Sellsword Guilds, they just get money.
So, for our
It's all about
people
the money.
here at the beta weekend, could they have a very expensive force on the tabletop by the end of the weekend?
By the end of this
If they-
weekend, some of them could have this.
Oh,
What's more, if they get to that during the beta weekend, we're giving it to them to take away.
oh, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, guess who just got challenges put out there? I love it.
I think this is actually one of your faction that you're hoping to play with as well, so that's going to be great. Yeah.
You know, I might want to get a game or two in.
Just to let you know, this is a mantic zombie,
Okay.
That gives you an
Well,
idea of
some skills
substitutes.
apart.
which also you could, when you're playing the game, you could be using your own mantic zombies
On that one as well.
to be the Druggoi. But this gives you a bit of a size comparison.
Oh, the skill's actually really nice.
Yeah. The actual gaming scale. it gives you an idea then of how to do it. Now, obviously, that's a mantic zombie. These are not zombies. They are alive. They can be killed.
But the sculpts would work quite well just for
We use
some
that,
poor unfortunate soul who's been turned.
Yep.
The whole idea of our miniatures is that you buy them because you want them, not because you have to. So everything about the game in a basic form is downloadable. The dice and everything else works like that. People hopefully will love the genuine cards, love the genuine rule book, the physical rule book,
With
and
all
love
the
the
lovely
miniatures.
fluff.
Yes.
But the thing is that if as long as it's WYSIWYG, this isn't a game about our miniatures. This is a game about Fabled Realms. So if you've got some, I don't know, you've got some Zombicide miniatures that you want to play in the game, that's why you get the pad that enables you to migrate them into the game. So you've got the stats for the other person to see
And in
during
fact,
the game.
when we were initially playtesting the game, they were Zombicide Black Plague.
Yeah, they were. And also that is a Perry's with an orc's head on it. Who was the orc's head from? Do you remember?
That is the Lord of the Rings.
Yes, that's right, it was.
Oh, so it's Urukai.
Yeah, well, no, it
No,
was
it's a Warg Rider.
a Warg Rider's head.
Gotcha.
And then this is a Fireforge miniature here, and it gives you an idea of the actual gaming scale. And the actual Fellendorf militia are made up of Griffin Beast plastic miniatures anyway.
See, this is something that's really nice. You guys are so inclusive with all your stuff.
Yeah.
You know, you want people
We're not
playing the game, playing around in this world that you've created.
Yeah.
And I think that's something incredible. And it means that, if people want, they can grab the gorgeous minis you guys have made. But they don't have to. So it's one of those things, those barriers to entry just being completely knocked down with this kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sitting here going, if I wanted to give a new race a try, oh look, I have a Viking warband for Saga. I'm going to run those as some sellswords. That's going to look great.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, actually, if you think about your Viking warband, they could very easily be Fellendorf militia, Fellenberg, and we've got one of the characters of the Fellendorfers is actually also as a sellsword henchman, but you'll see her later. So it enables you to use our miniatures not just for one purpose, but for other purposes. But pretty much any of your Saga factions can run as Fellendorfers, definitely.
Okay. Well, everybody, I tell you what, that's a quick look at the Druggoi from us. For me, they are my favorite faction just because I love the backstory from okay, I tell you what, I probably know more than most of you out there because I get to go drinking with these guys. So,
you even know the stuff that we're not allowed to have anymore because I've gone on a ramble. Yeah.
So those folks who have actually made it to this beta weekend are probably going to get to enjoy that tonight. So if you didn't come along, you've kind of missed out.
Don't get Ben tipsy.
Well, a few of them enjoyed it last night. Yeah, that was good.
But that's a quick look at the Druggoi. I love the look of them. I love the sound of them. I hope I get to see at least one of our Druggoi players this weekend manage to get themselves a terror.
That would be great.
Because
That'd be great.
Very, very
they would have to play well. They would have to
hunt well.
Hunt well. There is a possibility. We brought more than one, so we're not saying it's the first one.
Well,
he gets it.
I have to say, everybody out there, stay tuned. We will be back with more updates from the beta weekend. Hopefully you're enjoying it. Hopefully this is maybe inspiring you to actually have a closer look at the game and, join the guys in the Fabled Realms. We'll move on. We'll see you again soon.
It's the Legends of Fabled Realms beta weekend here on beast4.com. This weekend we have an epic kit bashing competition with one lucky winner taking away an exclusive Dragos miniature, an exclusive Stoic miniature, a warband of your choice, and you will also get to work with the team at 4Ground to create a new character to go into the Legends of Fabled Realms. Plus we have 4 £500 gift vouchers for 4Ground terrain products to be won this weekend by getting your comments in on the live blogs.